So my friend the other day came over and she had her dog with her and she was feeding her dog these treats and she said, funny thing about these treats is they're bull penises. And she hands me this bag and I was like, so this is a bag of bull penises. And so, you know what that means? So go on this vision quest with me, or go on this thought journey with me. Okay, so, I don't know much about the anatomy of bulls or their genitals or whatever. A matter of fact, I don't know anything about bull penises. They looked like, meat sticks, but you could tell that they were like, not like ground up meat. Like it was some sort of an animal part. And so I don't know if it was like literally just like the severed penis or if it was like the muscle that's in it or like, I don't know anything about the anatomy so I don't know. Okay. But let's go with, this is a bag of bull penises. So what does this mean? Okay. Cause so many questions, you know what I mean? The first question is, what the f*** is wrong with human beings? Okay. Cause we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to go that extra step. There could have been any body part in that bag. And maybe they separate them into all sorts of body parts and that one just so happened to be, but no, something tells me that, not every body part's in a bag. We didn't have to add insult to injury. But so think about this. Okay, so America, right? We mass produce things, and it's funny to think that you can go to a store, a pet store, just whatever store it says. You can go to a pet store, and apparently you go to a certain aisle, and there's a bag of bull penises. But not only is there a bag of bull penises, there's a section of bags of bull penises. Because I'm guessing that's not the only bag. There's probably several, and so there's probably several. And what if there's different flavors? God forbid. Because what if there's different flavors, and what if there's different brands? What if there's, and so there could be like a whole, not even bulls, there could be like a whole severed animal penis section. I'm willing to bet that's probably not a section, but, there's probably something similar. But so it's just interesting to think that somewhere there's a factory. Or maybe it's just a part of the slaughterhouse. Or whatever. I mean, I don't know the process of cutting up these things. But somebody had the idea, and I don't know how they got this idea. I don't know if they just were like, oh, dogs just really love bull penises. Like if it's bull penises in particular. If they just give them to them because they thought it was funny. I don't know the story behind it. But it's funny that someone's job is just, at some point, severing a bull's penis, packaging it in bulk. Like, there's a bulk operation of harvesting these animals, severing their penises, bagging up several of their, like a bag of chips, except for just, like, there's hundreds of just penises, though. Just severed animal penises. And so you just... and normally I wouldn't talk about this kind of stuff, and I know it's inappropriate, but there's a lesson to be learned from this. Because anytime you're ever having a bad day, no matter what's happening to you, you gotta think, you gotta have some perspective. Life is all about perspective. People tell you all the time, oh, think about like the people starving in Africa. Like, you're lucky just to have clean water and a roof over your head and food. But beyond that, you should consider yourself lucky that you were a human being. Because we're pretty much aliens. Think about Earth and all the animals. Think about nature. All the animals. Take humans away. Think about all the animals. There's diversity in the ocean. There's things that live in the air, or they don't live in the air, but fuck off. You know what I mean? But so there's all this diversity, and in nature is like its own section. Like things can be organic or natural. But then you think about people. We're a disease that got in the mind of these monkeys, and it's like we turned into zombies, except for, these zombies just make these crazy things that further destroy the planet, and we spread like a disease, and we're pretty much these aliens. Like, we do crazy things. So just, anytime you're having a bad day, just think about, you're an alien, You're so lucky to be a human, especially if you're in, like, America, or like, you're very lucky. You're lucky because you can go to a store and, if you want to, you could just buy a bag of severed animal penises because somebody at some point has already, for whatever reason, gone through all the steps to make that possible for you. And it's funny because when you go to the store and you look at, like, we don't even think about how much effort goes into, like, making a grocery store, because it's beyond our perception. It's beyond what we could ever think. It just goes into infinity so fast. Like all the brands, all the different types of things. You go to the chip section, there's like 1 billion different types of chips. There's like 70 different brands. It's like, oh, the same brand makes these different kinds of chips. Oh, there's 70 different kinds of these kinds. And it's like, and there's so much manufacturing that goes into all these crazy things. When you think about what we do to animals, you go to the grocery store, and okay, there's so many dead things everywhere around you in so many different forms. We as humans have just conquered and just, it's like conquered and divide. All these animals we've just totally just manipulated. We gather them, we just do what we want with them in bulk, and it's insane. And yeah, I've often thought that, just like looking at a meat section. It's like, damn, I'm not a vegetarian or anything, but it's interesting to think like how we brutalize animals. Like, I sometimes look at like the butcher thing, and I just think about, what if these were people? Like, how insane would this be? Because those animals are living things, and as much as we don't think of them as like conscious like people, or we don't, but it's just interesting to think of it like, oh, if this was a bag of severed human penises, this would be the worst thing ever. People wouldn't even know what to think about it, you know what I mean? But a severed bag of bull penises, that's normal. Feed that to your dog, and don't even bat an eyelash about it. So yeah, if you ever have a bad day, just think about that. At least you're not being round up, castrated, and sold as a snack. You're at the top of the food chain. No matter how bad of a day you're having, at least you're the top of the food chain. And you're the one giving the penises to your dog. You're not subjected to the torturous side of that. But it's just interesting that we have all these luxuries, and there's so much suffering that goes behind it, like in labor and like literal death. And we're on the receiving side of all the positive things of that. We don't see any of the negative things, really. But yeah, so yeah. It all goes back to those bull penises. Anyways, think about that, Be safe out there. Have a good one. Be nice to each other. And till next time, deuces. Severed animal penises.